I'm Lindsay Collins, and I've been coming to New Life for 3 years. I was actually going to another church here in town, and my parents started going to New Life when it was at the zoo. I literally showed up one time, and the very first Sunday, I was like, this is my place. This is where I'm supposed to be. This past year has been kind of difficult the last few months. It started in December of last year. At the end of the year, financially, I realized that I had struggled a little bit during the year, and things weren't going quite as well as I'd hoped. And then we started the Fully Devoted. Church was asking us to decide how much we wanted to give and what kind of impact we wanted to have financially on the church. So I was praying about that, and when I did my taxes, I realized that I'd made significantly less money last year than the year before. I just really felt like I was supposed to give double to the church what I had given the year before. Praying about that and deciding then and there that's what I wanted to do, I think it opened me up to feel like I was really a part of something bigger. And so I decided that I was all in. And I'd like to say that things got better after that, but things did not get better. Everything went from bad to worse. I'd been having some health problems, but as of January 1st, my deductible went up to $5,000, so everything was going to be out of pocket. I decided I should probably go see what was going on, so I decided to go to my mother's doctor, who I knew was a believer. We did some discussions, and he wanted to run a whole bunch of tests, and I was like, I don't have enough money for that. So he's like, well, let's do some blood work and take this medication for 6 weeks. I think it was probably in June when I still was struggling with my health, and I had been in several times, and things just weren't getting better, that somebody suggested that I meet with one of the ladies from church. So I started meeting once a week with her, and she was amazing, and we just kind of talked about everything that was going on. So I asked her, I said, well, do you think that I did this to myself? And she just turned around and looked at me, and she was like, no, this is a full-on attack of Satan in your life in every single area, and we're just going to work through it one at a time. I went back to the doctor, and I decided whatever he would say, I was going to do it. If it was a test that cost lots of money, I was going to do it. If it was a different medication, I believed that he heard the Lord, and so I was just going to go with it. So I went back to see him, and he was like, no, you're doing so much better. He said, we're not going to do any tests. And he grabbed both my hands, and he prayed for me, and he said, well, don't be surprised if you wake up tomorrow and you're healed. And he walked out of the room. And it was kind of a turning point right then. I started to have a little bit of hope, and I really felt like God had told me, regardless of everything that was going on in my life, to just be thankful and praise him. So that's what I started doing. I just started waking up and praising him, even though nothing physically had changed and nothing financially. So then we decided that I should go talk to my employer, the doctor that I've worked for years and years. And I kind of explained that I'd lost, a lot of money last year and wasn't sure what was going on, and if he needed me to maybe change physicians, if he couldn't afford to keep me. And he just looked across the table at me, and he said, Lindsay, why did you wait this long to come talk to me? He's like, I've told you can tell me anything. And he gave me above and beyond anything I could have asked for. I was blown away. And then he just said, if you ever need anything else, just come and ask. And in that moment, it was like God was sitting across the table, and he was saying, if this man who doesn't necessarily profess to know me cares about you that much, how much more do I care about you? And why didn't you just ask so long ago? I just walked out of there totally blessed, and I had a new outlook on life. Things started to change just drastically. And I don't know that it was so much me as it was realizing that God had already been there the whole time, but I just wasn't accessing him and being thankful. My health started to improve slowly by slowly, just a little bit by little bit. Financially, I was able to I needed a new car. And one day, my dad calls me and says, hey, I think I found the car that you've been wanting. It's down here, $6,000 less than you want. And I literally went and signed on it that day. And it was just little things like that that would have taken lots of effort if I'd done it by myself. But because God was in it, it was huge and it was easy. And I think being fully devoted means allowing God to have access to every area of your life, not just financially, but allowing him in even to the areas where maybe you're struggling and you're not sure how fully devoted you want to be. And when you can't do anything else, you praise and you give thanks. I'm still fully devoted.